tonight. I mean, you think can't the bet
Yeah,
that
I mean,
Vegas
Washington's
was
got a
loving
lot of injuries, and the Chiefs are rolling right now. I think it's a really tough spot for Washington. I think it's a really tough spot for them.
Another team I can't figure out is the Falcons. Man,
No.
I know Penix was out, but Cousins, I thought would be able to play. But man, I gotta wonder. That's another team. You're speaking to Carolina. The Falcons, they're so up and down, but that's been the year it's been. But the Colts, man, they've got me convinced. I mean, they've got that a solid defense. Daniel Jones is. It reminds me of Goff in 2018 when he took the Rams to the Super Bowl. Gurley was the key, and they had a solid defense. They had picked up some, the Ndamukong Suh and the Akeem, and they and he was but Gurley was a catalyst. But the kind of a same feel for me there. I think that team
Al, the
could be a
Colts have
team,
a
but
great offensive line, and they have a
yeah,
dynamic running back in Jonathan Taylor, who is having an
cool,
MVP type season, and he's already got
yeah,
more touchdowns than 3 other teams in the National Football League. So they have a 1-2 punch. They have a running game which completely opens up play
yeah,
action for Daniel Jones. He's having all the time to pick out his receivers. He's not throwing
yeah.
interceptions. He's not making mistakes. And the offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage week in, week out. And their defense is good. That's why they're winning.
And that equals a very tough performance from their young quarterback. So
Yeah.
anyway, thanks for taking the call. I
Thank
just
you.
want to say, hoping for a lengthy and full recovery for Scattaboo.
Thank you.
And I hope Bob calls again. I love Bob. I'm a fan now.
Thank you, Al. I'll give him your number. He can call you. How's that? In addition to calling me. All right. I'm not a doctor either, but could that possibly be a career-ending injury? Something so gruesome? Not from what I understand. All right. So I want to get to this message on our text line, and then I want to let you know that you should not send me messages just because you think it sounds good. All right. 916-779-0929. I appreciate you participating in the program. I honestly do. But you said NBA players are getting more hamstring injuries now because the game is faster, the schedule is tighter, and their bodies don't get enough time to fully recover. 100% incorrect. Okay. The schedules are the easiest that they've ever been in the history of the NBA. That's number one. There are more days off in an NBA season than ever before. There are no more 4 games and 5 nights, which I used to experience all the time. 4 games and 5 nights. Okay. There are also now times during the season when you stay in a city to play a team not only once, but twice to eliminate travel, to eliminate miles traveled, to eliminate, the quote unquote fatigue on a body. So it is the opposite of what you just texted me, that their bodies don't get enough time to fully recover. The NBA has gone overboard, overboard to try to allow their players more time for their bodies to recover. Less back-to-backs than there have ever been in the NBA. No 4 and 5s anymore. And I can go on and on. So you're absolutely 100% incorrect. Okay? Incorrect. Totally wrong. There were less injuries playing 4 games and 5 nights, less hamstring injuries playing back-to-backs, all of this other stuff. So I'm sorry. Do a little more research. All right? Somebody said thoughts on Macklin Celebrini. He's only 19. He's been on a tear lately. Absolutely amazing. He's one of the leading scorers through the first 3 weeks of the NHL season. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I believe he's 6th or 7th in most points already. And he is 19. He's been unbelievable. And he had a great winner against the Wild. I love overtime hockey when they play on 4-on-4. I mean, it's fabulous. They made a great save. Minnesota comes down 3-on-1, and then the puck ends up on the stick of Celebrini, comes in on a breakaway, makes a deke and scores. The guy's been unbelievable. He really is. So it's nice to have a player that looks like he may be the real deal in San Jose. Do we expect Jalen Williams, Caruso, and Isaiah Joe to be available tomorrow? They're out today. I don't know. I don't think Williams, Caruso's in concussion protocol, so I would doubt I would doubt that Caruso would be out tonight with concussion protocol and then all of a sudden be okay tomorrow. And as far as Joe, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see tomorrow. I would say it's unlikely that those 3 will be playing tomorrow. Unlikely. Alright, again, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. I'm curious, and I really mean this. Do you have any interest in the World Series? Like, I've watched very, very little of the World Series. I'll probably pay more attention tomorrow when Ohtani's pitching, and I mean that. I just very little interest, but, the reason why I'm asking is, we have a lot of Giants fans in our area, and I guess the game's gonna start here in about what? First pitch in 35 or 40 minutes. Are you gonna watch the game? I mean, you're not watching that game over the Monday Night Football, or you're gonna listen to this show, right? I mean, let's just call it the way it is. Let's get serious here. No, seriously though, you have interest in the World Series? I wonder what when it's all said and done, the ratings are gonna be for the totality, of this World Series. Hit me up on the text line, let me know, yay or nay on whether you have interest in the World Series. 916-779 0929. NFL will wrap up the schedule this week, and then we'll turn our attention to what's coming up in the following week. I know one thing, there is absolutely no rhyme or reason that's going on in the NFL right now. And you try to figure out the ebb and flow of this season, good luck, because it makes absolutely no sense. And after tonight, and you turn the page, we're going to be hitting November here. All right. Welcome to November. And you've got a horrible game coming up Thursday to start off the week. Baltimore at Miami. That's an awful game. Then you have Chicago at Cincinnati, Detroit host Minnesota, Green Bay home to Carolina. I want to talk about Green Bay in a moment. Chargers are at Tennessee, Atlanta at New England, Giants home to the Niners, Colts travel to Pittsburgh, Denver's at Houston, Jacksonville at the Raiders, Saints are in LA to take on the Rams. This is going to be an interesting game. Chiefs and Bills from Buffalo, and then the Sunday night game has Seattle at Washington. The Monday night game has Arizona at Dallas. That Kansas City Buffalo game may be the best game on the card. May be the best game on the card. But I want to get to uh, the Green Bay Packers. And the reason why I want to get to the Green Bay Packers is if you watch the game last night against Pittsburgh and you see the impact that Micah Parsons has, okay, on that defense, it is unbelievable. He is being doubled and triple teamed on every play, and it still doesn't matter. And oh, yeah, by the way, Green Bay is 5-1-1. That's right. 5-1-1. And when you look at them defensively, they are really good. Really good. Not great, but really good. I think with the potential to be great. My thoughts on Tony Vitello joining the Giants as a manager, not having any MLB experience. I couldn't say I don't know anything about Tony. I'd be sitting here lying if I could tell you on where it's going to be good or not. I mean, it's certainly a reach by Buster Posey. It's a reach, but that doesn't mean the guy can't do a good job. It doesn't mean that I can't do a good job. All right, 916 as to watching the World Series. I just painted my living room and I'm watching the paint dry. Yeah, I'm right with you there. I watched a little of it, not too much. That's beautiful. But seriously, I couldn't tell you anything about Tony. I mean, if you're a Giants fan, you have to hope for the best. Their biggest issue is they play in the same division as the Dodgers. That's their biggest issue, and you're dealing with that payroll. But anyway, I want to get back to the NFL. So Denver, they had their most complete win of the year. That was, in watching every Broncos game this year, that's the best they've looked, both on offense, defense, and special teams. And they're now, atop the AFC West at 6-2, but they've only had one divisional game. So keep that in mind. The Chargers have had 3 divisional games and they're 3-0. So keep that in mind because the tiebreaker, we know, right? Head to head, then division. So keep that in mind as you go through the season. Colts are obviously the real deal at 7-1, and they have a point differential that shows you the real deal. That no one's even in their neighborhood. They're plus 116. Okay, plus 116. The next best New England at plus 67. That's amazing. It really is. I'm talking about the AFC. In the NFC, you look at Philadelphia, all right? They are now 6-2. They're going to win that division. Green Bay and Detroit are going to fight it out in the North. Detroit a plus 64, Green Bay a plus 43 if you like going by point differentials. And then in the NFC South, the only team with a plus, Tampa Bay at plus 19. Everyone else is very much in the red. And then Seattle plus 57, the Rams plus 58, now with records of 5-2. And the Niners now are -4. How about that? -4, the Niners. And with their injuries, I told you I'd had to catch up with them at some point, and it looked